Good morning. This is Robert Cominier on Positive Strokes, staying clean, and I'm so happy that you're a part of my recovery. And today, I know I'm kind of late, but I had some technical difficulties, and I want to make sure that I get my live female to you today. So I hope that what I have to share will help you in your recovery on living your best life. Overcoming a broken relationship. Now, I definitely have some information on that because most of my life I've dealt with nothing but broken relationships. So I do have just a little bit of information about broken relationships. One thing I can say that broken relationships are very painful. I mean, I could take a ass whipping. I faced the depths so many times, close to death, and I had no issues about it. I've been drowned numerous times, almost drowned numerous times. I went through car windows. I can deal with all that, but that emotional stuff I can't deal with. I'm weak in that order. So broken relationships have hit me very, very hard. And I would always try to do something different for the next one. And I always thought it was my fault. But living in recovery, it taught me that a lot of times it wasn't my fault. It's that I didn't see it because I had tunnel vision, because I wanted something so much that I did not pay attention to what was going on around me or in that relationship, which caused me to have undue pressure, hurt, and pain emotionally. I realized that a lot of the relationships that we started out in, that I was in, was like oil and water. I kept mixing it, hoping that it would mix, but the oil would definitely separate from the water. And what I realized is that I was focused on having and wanting it to be a certain way that I did not see the pitfalls of the relationship. So when I went through all these issues that I had went through in the relationship, I finally decided I'm not getting in no more relationship. I'm going to be about Robert. I'm going to make Robert better. I'm going to be happy and learn how to live life on life's terms by Robert, by himself. And that was a tall order for me to follow. But after a period of time, I got used to being by myself and the emotional pain subsided. But I learned about one thing. When you love someone, you just don't stop loving them. But being by myself made me understand that I was water and they was oil, and we could never mix. We could never mix. I can stir it up and it'll work for a while, but the oil will separate from the water once it stays still. So what I realized in recovery is that understanding what part I played in it was that I was more focused on what I wanted out of the relationship and not looking at that person and seeing the true person they were. I didn't see them and they didn't see me. That's why it didn't work. And here's how I know that is because the woman that I'm with now, she truly saw me, which caught my attention. She truly saw who I was. She seen some of the hurt that I was experiencing in my life. And she contributed to solutions to my issues and my problems. No one never done that before. No one has never ever done that for me before, which surprised me. What do I mean? Well, we talked on the phone and I talked about how I have chronic arthritis in my back and how, I learned how to deal with it by keeping myself active. That cuts the pain down less. But if I don't stay active, then that pain gets worse and worse. And I'm taking a lot of pain pills. What she did, she said, she took me out on a date and we went to the spa. And she rubbed me down in this oil and she said, this is going to clear out your pores. And it's going to take a lot of that pressure from your back. It's going to help your arthritis. And lo and behold, for the next 3 weeks, I had no pain. I've never experienced 3 weeks straight without pain. I fell in love with this woman. I said, oh yeah, she's the woman for me because she truly saw Robert, which made me truly look at her. And I saw who she was. And that bond has lasted now and hopefully forever. Because I'm truly happy and she's truly happy. And we live in a beautiful, wonderful life together with the ups and downs of life. It don't knock us all the way down because we invest in each other. We carry each other's pain. We work together to overcome situations. We support one another, which allows us to deal with issues that come up without no problem. We're both water. We're like lemonade mix and water. We mix it together and we got a nice flavor. I also understood that for me to get to that point or to have that in my life, what I did was when I left the bad relationship, I said, I'm not getting in a relationship. I'm going to focus on Robert. I'm going to work on making Robert better. I'm going to learn how to live comfortably and happily with Robert to enjoy. And as I was overcoming situations, I began to be proud of the accomplishments that I made for myself, that I stood on my own 2 feet, that I took care of myself, that I enjoyed the life that I built for myself. And when I did that, when that happened for me, there she was. She's still here, and hopefully, I pray that she outlives me because I can't see myself living without her. And that's just my truth. So, if you are going through a bad situation and a relationship where your water and their oil and you're constantly mixing it, hoping that it will mix, but when it settles, it separates, you know that it's never going to work in the back of your mind. But you keep trying, hoping and praying that it will because the love is there. My great-grandfather told me something that I didn't understand. He says, some people you love close to you, you keep them close to you, and some people you love and you keep them a distance to you. And I understand that now. You can love somebody, but you don't believe or agree with their lifestyle or the way they do things. You can still love that person, but they're not good for you. And you must accept that type of information. But we're human. We want to change. We think that we can change people's behavior by doing good, by supporting them, but be backed by them. But I learned in recovery that it's up to each individual to change their own way for them to live their best lives. They have to make that choice to change. I can't make it for them. I can help them along the way. I can share my strength and my hopes and what happened to me with them. But it's up to them to change their behavior. And if they haven't changed their behavior, then it's time for you to build your life for you so you can live your best life. So you can be ready for the blessing that's waiting out there for you. You know, there's a song called Lessons. I mean, he's Eric, I forget his last name. And in the lyrics, he says that all the bad things that happened led him to the blessing that he has now, the woman that he has today. And I look at that and I realize that's me. All the bad times that I had and all the bad relationships that I had led me to the woman that I have today, and I'm truly, truly blessed. So if you're going through hard times and bad relationships, when you leave that relationship, focus on yourself. Be proud of the accomplishments that you make by yourself, where you can take care of yourself on your own without their help. That you're good with yourself, that you're happy with yourself. And when you get to that point, you're going to shine. And the person is going to come to you that's going to recognize your beauty and you, who you are. And they're going to want to know who you are. And you're going to find that special person for you. Because you're not looking. You're just going to let it happen. I let it happen, and it's beautiful. But when I'm looking, I'm making bad choices. I made too many bad choices in my life about relationships. But if I should have kept the focus on myself and work on myself, the right person would have fell into my lap. And it did. So, don't feel upset that you have to go through some ups and downs to build a life for yourself away from someone that you love, that you was hoping that you was going to build a life with them. Just understand that we both enjoyed some good times and we had some bad times. And that's okay. You work on yourself and find your way so you can live your best life. And I'm going to work on myself and find my way to live my best life. And I'm going to tell you, when you least expect it, that special someone will be standing right there in front of your face. And you'll be able to recognize that person as being a part of your life. I certainly did. I hope you will too. This is Robert Goodman for Positive Strokes, wishing you a great and wonderful day. And remember, you're the most important person to yourself. So love yourself, protect yourself. And remember, just because the relationship didn't work out doesn't mean that's the end of your life. That's the beginning of a new chapter in your life so you can live your best life. You have a great and wonderful day.